Hello and welcome to L33ts. My name is Aaron Romeo Moon Burke. I'm here with Mad Matt Winchill, Eric Setzer Craig,
Hi.
Randy Ranson McCulloch, and we're in the Horned God on Arcadia. Not that that really matters. Hello, gentlemen. How's everybody doing today?
I have a cold.
Tired as hell, but oh well.
I have going through.
I have a special opinion about a certain event that started today, but we'll save that for later.
Okay, so we're on the Secret World, of course.
The God Bar in London on the Arcadia server.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever, doesn't really matter which server you're in, but yeah, we're in Arcadia because that's where I believe 3 out of 4 of us are at.
And since I formed the team, that's where I yanked Aaron too.
The name of the server matters about as much as points on whose line is it anyway.
Exactly.
The one interesting thing about this game is it doesn't matter what shard you actually generate your character on. If your friends are on another one, they can just invite you to team, and you're pulled over to their shard.
Mm-hmm.
Or vice versa.
Yes,
Which is actually probably one of the best ideas I've ever heard for server run MMOs to date, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's cutting edge. I mean, this game is just out this year.
Mm-hmm.
The whole concept of being able to run all their dimensions on one super server is a completely new one.
Yeah, it's we've seen it done with DC Universe Online with the super servers or mega servers, and I know Guild Wars 2. They have different like home worlds that you can be based off of, but it shouldn't matter with teaming, I don't think, for that game. So, but only a few games have really been trying out the whole, you know, shards instead of servers type business.
Oh, and I would like to actually make a correction from the last time I was with you guys. I'm pretty sure somebody corrected me already, even though I haven't been there. But I want to point out the person that made the Apocalypse set was actually Dink, not Tunnel Rat. I don't know why I was thinking Tunnel Rat, but there you go.
That was from the City of Heroes podcast.
Yeah, the City of Heroes one. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do apologize for that.
That's okay. We all make mistakes. I'm pretty sure I've made a couple on my other podcast. Not that I'll admit it to those guys.
I'm pretty sure at least one person mentioned that somewhere. I mean, this is the internet after all.
Which is for porn.
Yes, it is. And Secret World. Although, and considering how RP this is, there's probably sex in the Secret World.
Oh, probably, and probably something's going on another floor of this bar, but let's not think about that.
Yeah. Have you guys...
Anyway, speaking of...
Can't be any worse than Virtue Pocket D.
Yeah, speaking of City of Heroes, Secret World is one of the 3 MMOs we're seeing the City of Heroes refugees scattering to. The other 2 being Champions and Lotro.
Really?
There's probably some people going elsewhere, but those are the 3 I hear the most.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely understand Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same theme.
Lotro is one of the top 3 played MMOs, apparently, according to Massively.
And, of course...
It's also known for having a large RP environment.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, while it doesn't have as much customization as Champions would, it still has a really large selection of clothing items and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It does have an interesting selection, but I would argue that I can't find everything I want.
This is true.
Give it time. Give it time. The game was just released like 4 months ago.
Yeah, and also it doesn't help too much that Funcom laid off half its staff on this because it only sold 200,000 copies at the on launch.
They have since hired, I think, about 3 or 4 people back.
Yeah, apparently it's something Funcom does, is they put them on like a 6-month layoff thing with an option to hire them back later.
Also known as furlough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is my mom works for the government, and she ended up she was talking about furlough, and for a while I thought it was an acronym somewhat like FUBAR or SNAFU.
Nope, it comes from an old military term.
Which SNAFU and furlough and FUBAR come from as well. Never mind.
What's an acronym? The original of it has been lost to history.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, what are your impressions of the game so far? I don't know. Who wants to go first?
Well, I've been here the longest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lifer on the Secret World. I've actually paid my money so that I have a lifetime membership. I like this game. I love the concept. There are some little things that I don't like. There's things with every MMO I don't like. But plot and story of this game is...
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to be doing a lot of that tonight. The plot and story of this game is unbelievable. I mean, the cutscenes and voice acting are top-notch. Are you okay? You're not dying over there?
No. I accidentally I was drinking something last little bit, and it went down the wrong pipe. I'll be fine. Especially since I've got Shayna here in the same room, they can come over here and give me a Heimlich if necessary.
Oh yeah, Shayna's here, by the way, guys. Anyone watching or listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shayna, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Yes, I love the voice acting. I love the overall story. All the Lovecraftian references that you'll get in this game is just unbelievable. I saw a book of when I was actually meeting with Matt a few days ago. We saw a book in Barnes & Noble on the complete works of Lovecraft. I'm like, yeah, I bet the devs have one of those on their desk for thumb notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually have wanted to start collecting his short story books. I mean, I've got his first one, and stuff's really good. I mean, I've only read through about half of it though, but
I wouldn't want to plug anything, but Barnes & Noble has this complete works for about $20 hardcover.
I would also add on to that I'm not sure how much of it, but I have heard that a good chunk of Lovecraft's works are now actually public domain. As of a few years ago already, actually.
I was able to buy a couple of collections for the iPod off of iTunes. I think it took up 3 volumes or something they had in there.
I mean,
I know for a fact that Reanimator is one of the stories that have gone public domain.
But, yeah, it is just amazing. Just the little details that are in this world, too.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember being I was actually going to mention this to them earlier. I was freaking out earlier today as I was running through various areas of the first major zone you get to, Kingsmouth. And I went to the chapel, and I had my sound up, and I realized the music playing in the chapel is Ode to Joy.
Yeah. I'll have to go look. I'll have to go listen when we're done.
And mind you, I'm an Evangelion fan, so hearing Ode to Joy in the town where the apocalypse is going on hurt my brain a bit.
Oh wow. Yeah, they yeah, I haven't been able to play much. I mean, I've only just started. I mean, I immediately recognized even before starting. I watched the thing from Kingsmouth, and I immediately recognized it as it looks so much like Silent Hill. And then I get in the game. First thing I noticed is most of the street names are based off of Lovecraft. There's even there's Lovecraft Lane or street.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I think one of the biggest things I'm finding a little irritated so far is that it seems like I'm spending way too much time in Kingsmith than I really should be. There's not. It's just based. Well, I love the idea of the dead or undead town. It's like, yeah, this is nice and all, but can we see something else now?
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. It's like I make similarities to Silent Hill, and I'm kind of like, it would be nice if there was a alternate Kingsmith maybe where I could go to maybe liven things up a bit.
Well, you're really just in the first area.
I know. I'm just saying, it's like, it seems like I'm in the first area for a little too long.
A
little too long. Yeah, thanks.
Well, I've made comparisons that I've basically called this game Silent Hill meets Grand Theft Auto. And if you've played it, you kind of see where I'm going through. You don't have cars. You don't jack people's cars. But you have that same thing where you walk up to a person, you start a mission, and you get the introductory cutscene that you would get in most of the Grand Theft Auto 3 games.
Yeah. And to all you people who did not like the old Star Wars Old Republic's cutscenes, you don't have to. They are all fully voiced, but your character doesn't talk at all. It's all silent protagonists, so it's not like the game is trying to shove words down your character's throat that you wouldn't say.
Yeah, actually the best way to describe it would be something along the lines of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, that was, which I remember. I remember that was actually, they actually lampshaded that in San Andreas. You actually met the main character from 3 there, but
and he was quiet the entire time.
He was completely silent. I think he even referenced it as like that silent motherfucker or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting off track here.
No, it's
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Took a while on that one.
But yeah, it's
Although
very intricate. I've gone through almost all the major zones at this point. I'm near end game. And the plot, I really can't tell where they're going with the plot, to be honest. It intrigues me. There's a lot of open threads, but this game is hardly finished. They are always planning on adding more and more and more to it. So I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't quite end yet, that you'll get to learn more as they add more to the game.
Yeah. Although I think the one thing I found that I do not like in this is the crafting system. In my opinion, it is needlessly overcomplicated.
I don't mind it.
I mean, I say dislike most. Then again, I haven't really used it that much. But
also, have you gone through the parts where they actually teach you how to do crafting?
Yeah, I have, and I'm looking at how it works. I'm like, yeah, it just seems like it just. And at that point,
the only problem I have with the crafting is that you need to try and actually find the toolkits you need.
Yeah. Well, you can buy some of them.
You can buy them. You can buy them outside the barricade.
Yeah, over by Council of there's
Council of Venice guys will occasionally have somebody that'll sell different toolkits.
Different toolkits, but I've never seen a weapon toolkit that I'm aware of.
Those do not get sold by the Council of Venice.
Yeah. You need a weapon toolkit to actually make a weapon.
Why I hoard mine.
Yeah, that's why you need to actually go out and find them. And I did happen to have, I believe, one level 6, which I did make it recently into a weapon. I updated my elementalist abilities.
Yeah, my bank is full of different quality level toolkits. I think I have like 2 or 3 level 10s now. The thing is, the toolkits also drop in different qualities, and that will adjust the quality of the weapon you make too.
Yeah, it's also not just the level of the weapon, it's also the quality. There's rare, and there's what else?
Very rare, purple.
Very rare. Well, there's green, blues, and purples.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume
Technically,
there's whites, but I
whites
haven't
too,
run as many.
but the only whites I've seen are quality level 0 weapons.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the I like mixing and matching the what do you call it, the runes in order to make kind of combo glyphs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of interesting. So you can get, they won't be as powerful if you made a glyph from all of the same rune, but you can still take two of two separate types of rune and make them into a hybrid glyph and still get some advantage from both the different types of runes that you use to augment your weapons and whatnot is what I mean too.
Yep, both of my weapons are slotted for critical and penetration.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can basically do some serious butt kicking.
Yeah.
And I just upgraded all my weapons today to quality level 10.
Oh,
Wow. Cool. Alright.
I'm only up to 6.
Yeah, and you're lucky to be at 6, Matt.
I think
I would have saved your money though, because you're getting into Blue Mountain now, aren't you?
I am in Blue Mountain, yes.
Because there's a Council of Venice vendor there that sells quality level 6 weapons straight out.
I might have already made better than what he can give me.
He's selling rares.
I believe it is a rare.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm only on quality level 3.
Same here.
I might be able to replace my sword, but I definitely don't think I'm...
Quality level 3 is about the standard level for finishing up Kingsmouth.
Okay.
I noticed, I ran Polaris today. That's the first of the dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stuff that dropped in Polaris was quality level 3 rare.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know. And especially since I'm probably gonna try and get the one what's that called? Hang on. The Sequin of Solomon Island dual pistol as well. I already have the Sequin of Chaos, which is prominently displayed on my back. And look. Yes.
Yeah, I actually removed my weapons for this particular cast.
My sword is currently destroying the couch I'm sitting in.
Actually, I just noticed mine is too. It's kind of cheap in this couch.
I may have to. I may get hurt for saying this, but considering everyone in City of Heroes would have loved to be able to see weapons sheaths, but I kind of want the option to hide my weapon, especially my back weapon, the book and the Chaos Sigil.
Yeah, the only way to do that, it seems, is to actually take them off.
Yeah, which then makes them kind of pointless. Well,
For social audience, yes.
I know I think I've accidentally made a what's that called? I've accidentally done it where where like if I equip a blood the blood magic book and a chaos sigil, one will disappear. So you just re-equip the one you don't want, and they're both gone until, at least for a little bit anyway. I think they do come back after. I think they came back after a while anyway. Oh, so actually, Randy, one thing I was wondering about, the deck costumes.
Mhm.
Are they actually when you unlock the costume for a deck? Do you get each piece separately that you can?
No, they're multi-slot.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
For instance, this is the Chaos Theorist, which is one of mine.
And the other thing, do I have to have that deck equipped in order to use that?
No. No.
Okay.
No, you just basically, once you get all the items on there, you go claim reward, and it automatically goes to the multi-slot in your dressing room.
Okay. That's a little disappointing considering I was looking through the Illuminati decks. I'm like, oh, there are pieces from here I'd like to use, pieces from here. Nope, have to use the all or nothing kind of thing, which I was never thrilled with that, but I mean, I get.
Here's the multi-slot item I bought today from the store.
Ninja.
Yep, Shinobi.
Oh, nice.
I really wish we could use this in PvP combat. Running Fusang projects, just imagine about 15 of these guys heading right for your facility.
So wait, you can't use
Pardon me.
these types of costumes in the PvP area?
No, they shut you to 3 default costumes for your faction.
Oh.
In other words, like you can only, like if I Illuminati, I have to have my Illuminati.
It's a variation.
Okay, I remember. I think I
similar
remember
to the
that.
PvP vendors look in your faction.
Mhm.
And the one thing I never liked about MMO is how uniform you look.
Well, they do this deliberately so that you cannot wear specific items to make you look like you're another faction.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, in that sense, it makes sense. But I mean, it's one of the things that slowly drove me away from World of Warcraft was the fact that because you have to wear specific armor for raids.
Raids.
Everybody.
The closest thing you have to raids in this are dungeons. This is only in PvP.
Yeah.
And you can basically go, screw PvP. I don't care about PvP.
Is the PvP here any good, actually?
I enjoy it.
I haven't tried it.
It's similar to Anarchy Online's battle station system, only a lot improved. At least the Fusang projects are. That's the only one I do.
Okay.
Fusang projects is actually it's laid out like an AO battle station, which is kind of interesting. You start basically if you're Templar, you start in the north. If you're Illuminati, you start in the west. If you're Dragon, you start in the east.
Okay.
Of basically this triangle of facilities. The goal is to capture and hold facilities. There are 4 facilities. There are 3 outer facilities on the northwest, northeast, and south side, and 1 facility in the center. To get a facility, first of all, you have to beat down the automatic turret outside the door, and then go in and beat down this giant mecha guardian for it, and then you have to click on this thing, and it takes about 30 seconds for that to activate, during which at any time you can be interrupted by anybody attacking you. And when that's done, then a guardian for your own faction will spawn, and you'll control the facility. Unlike AO battle stations, there's no points. It never ends. It is a constant battle.
Oh, so that's what I keep seeing in my general tab when it's like when they say Illuminati has taken over the station or Dragon's taken over station.
Yeah. You, being Illuminati, should probably only get wordings about Templar and Dragons.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. You'll get those, because that means that your side already owns the facility and someone else is coming to take it.
So, what are the benefits of owning the facility?
Well, outside of the facility, you have a little thing down by your life bar called World Domination.
Where?
Right above your life bar. It should be like a little crown with a cross
there.
below it. And this should tell you how many PvP objectives your faction controls.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we have one. Illuminati apparently has one PvP objective right now.
Which is?
Factions control the Fusang Project Inner Factory.
Okay, so you control the inner facility.
Okay.
Matt or Aaron, you guys are Templars, so click on your World Domination.
Where is it again?
Right above your... Oh, well, you got to turn your UI back on.
Yeah.
So why don't Matt...
Who's saying Project's outer facility?
How many PvP objectives do you control?
1.
Well, I can tell you the situation is probably this right now.
111.
Right now...
112.
Right now, in Fusang, Illuminati controls the center facility, and the Templar control all 3 outer facilities, and the Dragon gets the shaft.
Wow.
Because I have no PvP objectives right now. XP gain 0, critical chance increase 0, damage 0, healing 0. And this will change throughout the day. All it'll take is a bunch of dragons to log on and go, yeah, we're going to own you guys for a while.
So out of curiosity, how well has there been balance of faction, as it were? I mean, does it seem like there's one faction that's more popular than the other?
It depends on the server, or convention, or shard.
I mean,
Arcadia, the Templars seem to be the biggest faction.
Okay.
Followed by the Dragon, with the Illuminati being the small runner here. This is actually the opposite that it is in the non-RP servers, where the Illuminati seem to be the big boys and the Templars seem to be the small boys.
Huh.
The Dragon seem to be middle of the road in most of these aspects.
Yeah. I know. Going back to Old Republic, I remember Old Republic. One of the reasons why everybody hated PvP was because everybody went Sith, barely anybody went Jedi. So you ended up literally getting these. It ended up being either PvP would almost never happen, or you'd get these. You'd get their the one where it'd be Sith versus Sith most of the time. I think they actually ended up trying to convince people to try and go Jedi more.
Well, with this, it's more like what time of day you're on. I've been on days where there have been like 3 full raids of dragons, and we have just swarmed stuff.
So really, in this case, it doesn't seem like popularity is that big of an issue.
No, and they play differently too. Both the Templar and the Dragons tend to take what they want by force. And like I said, who's leading tends to be, what time of day it is, or just who's decided to PvP at this particular moment. Today it was a slow day for PvP because everybody was out doing the Halloween stuff, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But generally what I'll see is the Illuminati tend to play opportunists.
How does that exactly? You mean like?
Okay. For instance, earlier today, The Templar decided to raid the center facility, which was being held by the Dragon at that point. I'm of course playing Dragon, and they're like, "Oh crap, we got to get in there."
Speaking of, sorry, just want to make a mess. The Templars are attacking the center of the facility now, according to my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go for it.
Yeah, that'll mean if they succeed, that means your world domination objectives will be changed here. Anyway, so we run in there with about 5 to 10 dragons, and it takes us several respawns because we died a lot. But we finally kick the Templar out of that facility. So we're walking out of the facility, thinking, okay, well we accomplished this. What we should do this? Boom! Get hit by a wall of Illuminati that just came in to take advantage of the half-dead robot and half-wiped-out Dragon Squad. Needless to say, Illuminati took the facility, and it took all of a minute and a half before we took it back.
Poor Illuminati.
Still, it would seem that like subterfuge, like what you'd see in Team Fortress 2 with the spies, that would be interesting if you could dress up some of your troops as in the other armor of the other faction.
Which they don't let you do for PvP.
I know, but it would be nice to see them do that. It would be interesting. It'd also play into whole conspiracy theory because you've got a lot of trickery and treachery going on there too.
Well, there's other ways that it's accomplished. If you've got a large enough team, what you do is you send a small squad to fake an attack on, say, the western facility, while the rest of y'all go and take out the southern facility. If they're both being held by the Templar, they're going, what the fuck? They're attacking both places!
And the forces end up scattered.
Yeah, they'll wind up splitting their teams up, one of which will, of course, obliterate that other spawn, but you should have enough left in your main group to take out the half group of Templars that are there and take over that facility. And it's easier to hold a facility that you've taken than it is to take one over, provided sides are equal. I left PvP earlier today after finishing my objectives because there were a total of 4 dragons left on, and there was a total of about 20 Templar online.
Wow.
We will crush you on the giant heel.
So, yeah. You know, when it gets to be that lopsided, and I forgot to set myself into Do Not Disturb. There we go.
Technical issues. Live, everyone!
I was just getting popped up by my other podcast group, which gets occasionally likes to talk when we're not casting. They like to talk a lot.
Oh yeah, there are hours they won't shut up. But yeah.
So I just set myself so I'm not informed of their conversation at the moment. So yeah, PvP is interesting. It can be fun if you like that kind of thing. You have to not mind getting killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Well,
I know you wouldn't mind it, Aaron.
Yeah, I die a lot, but I don't mind. It's all fun.
AO battle stations where I was basically beating the crap out of you.
And I was laughing around and joking about it.
It's much the same thing.
Oh, awesome.
It's much the fact of, oh yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm going to see if I can take this. Unlike the AO battle stations, there are multiple animal wells scattered throughout the facility. Your faction has to control an animal well for you to be able to spawn there. And capturing an animal well is an objective that you can actually pull as a mission, which will reward you with amount of PvP marks. PvP marks can be turned in to purchase better weapons. I'm currently saving up for a quality 10 very rare claw, which I'll be able to use to kick much butt in PVM too.
Hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge PvP fan. Never have been.
I don't like dying.
I have fought.
It's not just the dying. I've had a lot of early PvP experience, and none of it was fun at all.
Yeah. My PvP experience was, let's see, City of Heroes, where it was like you either had two different
heroes. What the hell are you talking about?
I went into the PvP areas.
There's no such thing as PvP in City of Heroes.
Okay. Well, we'll skip
it. A long time ago.
This was back before they screwed it up. Anyway,
when was that? Because
What? Anyway,
we're being harsh on heroes right now.
I was trying to make a you dropped your she made a mess of Reese's Pieces.
Not my fault. The box wanted to open.
Anyway, there were only two ways PvP generally went down. Either it was I went there, nobody there most of the time, or if I maybe like just see one person going by, or I'd run into the resident PvP group that was pretty much trolling for kills and just suddenly teleport dead.
Mhm.
And
I remember back when City of Heroes had minor PvP, and mostly what it had was stalkers who liked to gank and hide you. That's why I made my hyper regen character there, the one that made stalkers cry. So it would be Assassin Strike, placate, while they waited for Assassin Strike to come back up, and I'm sitting there
regen.
Yeah, I can't kill you, but you can't kill me either. Bye.
And then there was World of Warcraft, which actually, for as much as I say I don't like it, the one thing I did like about World of Warcraft outside the exploration was the PvP. It actually did have it. It was pretty decent, mostly because I wasn't cheaply dying due to lag.
Well, the thing about this game that makes it interesting is the fact that there are no levels and there are no classes. There's only what weapons you're using and the quality level of said weapons and talismans. Mind you, if you go into battle with quality level 1 weapons and you're fighting a guy that has quality level 10 weapons, you are probably going to die. That's just kind of general math. However, I've been going in there since quality level 6, quality level 7 weaponries, and I've been able to get my share of kills.
Okay.
I've been able to get my share of kills. I've been able to get my objectives done. Because that's the thing, is you're not just rewarded for killing people. PvP in this you work better as a team. You work better when you zerg objectives. When you've got 2 or 3 raids worth of your squad going down into a location, listening to whatever your raid leader's talking about on your chat, saying, let's take center, or let's go south. They're talking about taking the center of the south facility.
The swarm!
Nothing an opposing player hates to see than just 2 or 3 of his buddies versus 2 raid squads of the opposing faction. Except when it's 2 raid squads of the opposing faction and 2 raid squads of the other opposing faction. I have seen 3-way rumbles in this.
Oh, wow.
It's not pretty.
Oh, wow.
Battle of the 3 armies!
Oh, God, 3 armies! Hey, look! Goblins! Oh, let's all team up and kill them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Templar, the Dragons decided to take the West facility. This was months ago. The Dragons decided to take the West facility, and apparently the Illuminati had the exact same idea, and the Templars had it guarded. So pretty much, it became a free-for-all on the bridge in front of the Western facility.
Although
I racked up about 30, 40 kills. Because my combat style is based on a lot of PvAOE. So I went skipping through there, just firing off my AoEs and just getting hits.
So there must have been like at least several hundred people there, or at least at least 100 people there.
I would say probably about 60. I would say 20 people on each. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, how is the latency when it gets up that high with that many people?
I haven't had any more issues than I did elsewhere. Okay. Mind you, for some reason, my system hates London.
Okay.
One of the reasons I'm reluctant to roll a Templar is the fact that my system hates London.
Okay.
I get to London, I start lagging.
Alright, I just want to mention that I have played in one of the arenas against Barry, or my friend Barry, and that was, it's pretty much your basic, you walk in there with a few buddies or whatever, and you all just pretty much fight each other. But it was still a lot of fun.
Where was this?
This was in London, actually. It's over by the market.
One of the fight clubs. Okay.
Yeah, the fight club.
Aaron, you're breaking the first rule of Fight Club.
Talk about Fight Club.
What's a Fight Club?
Exactly.
Live!
We've talked a lot about PvP. Is there anything else, or do you guys want to...
Actually, I was gonna move off of PvP, and I was actually wondering, since we've got New York and London here, do we actually get to go? Get to go to any of the famous landmarks in there, like getting to go to the Statue of Liberty, or getting to go to?
Not yet.
Keyword being yet.
They're discussing expanding these territories. The thing about these is that you're basically in small neighborhoods that are hidden to the general public.
Oh, okay.
Everybody that are in these little neighborhoods knows something about the secret world.
Oh, okay.
That's why the NPCs act, or the civilians, I should say, act so mysterious when you click on them and you talk to them. Some of them will be mentioning that they're doing magic, or that they're selling voodoo dolls over in the Haitian market, or something like that.
Actually, I clicked on an NPC and she mentioned, wow, I didn't realize being a succubus is actually a fashion statement.
Yeah, there's a student that says that down to the Haitian market by the taco vendor. By the way, buy tacos in this game. Tacos save your life.
Taco!
Taco!
Tacos basically do an obscene amount of out-of-combat regen. So you get out of a fight, you've got 50 hit points left, your bar's red, you're looking at this going, I'm going to have to wait about 5 minutes to heal back. You nom a taco, you're good in about 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty tacos.
You guys will have to show me where the taco vendor is before when we're done.
Look for the hairless werewolf in the Haitian market.
I thought it was a bat thing, a bat creature. Bat boy.
It looks like a hairless werewolf to me.
No.
I don't know what to call him other than that.
But, yeah, so these are little secret societies. And, I mean, it's like one of the guards on the north side of London was like, I remember the time we kicked all y'all's asses back in Stonehenge. Stonehenge is another one of those PvP locations, by the way.
Do you remember when we got you guys kicked out of El Dorado?
Yeah, that's what he says. El Dorado is another PvP location. They're one of the larger targets that update daily on who controls them. And at the moment, it looks like nobody controls El Dorado. It resets in 31 minutes. It updates hourly, and nobody's been in there in the last 30-some minutes. Because it's been 0 wins on every side.
Is it just not that popular?
As far as I can tell, the Battlefield PvP is not as popular as Fusang Project. It's also the fact that, like I said, a lot of people aren't PvPing today. They're off doing the Halloween missions. Which I suppose I should probably talk about.
Matt?
Yeah. So I have a particular noise, especially catered for what I really think about this new event that just came out. Have a listen.
Harsh.
Can't see it, but I'm shrugging.
It's kind of fail-tastic. The same problem I had with AO's anniversary a year ago.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of people were vouching this out to be, this is going to be a special event for everybody. That anyone of any level can be able to go out and do this. No.
Matt, first of all, your statement fails. You used the word levels. There are no levels in this game.
Okay. Let's try it.
Technically, anyone of any difficulty range, okay? Anybody who's even just starting the game should be able to do this, is what they were saying. And they're wrong.
The missions in question, first of all, send you around Kingsmouth, which is not bad. They send you to Blue Mountain, which is not bad. Then they send you to Egypt. That's slightly worse. They send you to the second area of Egypt, which is even worse. They send you to the second area in Transylvania, which is just as bad. Now, if they had sent you to the first area of Egypt and the item you were looking for was not far from the Agratha portal, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yes. Thing is, it isn't.
It's not. The one in Egypt is by far the worst. It's in the second area in the dead center of the map, about as far from the Agratha portal as you can get without, well, half as far as you can get from the portal, because the portal's in one corner. So you have to fight your way there, and then it's in a crowded area full of monsters that are even hard to meet with quality level 10 equipment.
Yeah.
And there's no way to fulfill these missions while you're dead?
Nope.
Nope.
You cannot collect items while you're dead. The whole thing is you have to collect items for these.
For this second part of the 3, yeah.
The only thing you could do would be to try to run to one, let it kill you, and then raise your corpse and hope you can loot before you get agged again. The one in Transylvania is not so bad. I didn't see any monsters in the area where the thing was. And it's not that far from the Agratha portal to the second area. But you actually have to get to that second area, to the Agratha portal on that map, before it unlocks for you to travel there from Agratha. So, in that it fails.
Yep.
Now, let's add to that fact that the final mission in this 3-mission arc that they're doing is a 5-man solo dungeon. Arguably, 3 people with quality level 10 equipment can solo the dungeon no problem. I'd hate to see what newbies would do with it.
Yeah.
So, no, this is designed for people who have already been through the game. They should not be getting it for people that are just logging in and get that call.
I think it's terrible that they're kind of catering to the content because as soon as they finish this content, we'll just move on to a different game anyway.
Yeah, because they're already bending over backwards to give more content to only the end gamers, to which we're not going to be able to become end gamers in less than a month.
Matt, wrong. This is the first time I've seen this in the Secret World. If you look at the way the issues have been spread out for issues 1, 2, and 3, all the new missions that have come in have not been endgame.
Yes, but the big event is, and that's bad.
Yes, but you're saying that this is all they've been doing, and I'm correcting you on that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that they already are doing it. And
This is the first time we've seen it.
Yeah, this is, I don't mind if they, you've got to keep the people at the end game content occupied. Yes, I get that. That's awesome that they do that. But, how about for a holiday event? How about having something for everybody?
That's what I have actually been telling the AO devs for years.
Mhm.
Is that holiday stuff has to be for everybody to enjoy, and for some reason, Funcom can't get that through their head. City of Heroes understood that.
Mhm.
When they put in their haunted house, it was everybody could do it. I think you had to be level like 15.
Yeah.
But level 15 on City of Heroes was about 2 hours of work.
It's the same thing with Lotro. Their Yuletide event for Christmas or the holiday season. You have to be, I think, level 10. You can still participate in a lot of the stuff, but if you want to fight the monsters, you have to be about level 10.
Well, their haunted house thing was an actual trial instance, like the Incarnate trials were.
Mm.
Mm.
But it was level 15 to 50. And
Yeah. Scalable.
I think 2-3 people
Yep.
got in there, fired it up, and it was interesting and fun. It wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
And that's what a holiday event should be.
And what surprises me is that with a game with no levels, you'd think they would have come up with a better way, some way to do scalable enemies.
But really, you have no levels, but still it's not like a person that's just off the boat, so to speak, could run all the way through Transylvania and hope to survive.
Oh, hell no, I don't expect that.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is I can't see why they can't have some of couldn't have had some of the Halloween missions be in an instance that was scalable to whatever level or whatever skill level or how many skill points you currently have.
I think that would have made it a lot more complex than they were hoping to do.
Yeah, but it will have actually made it playable.
Yeah, it would have, but
it would have been worth the extra work.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been that each area has its own set of Halloween missions. Like Kingsmith, if you were still playing through Kingsmith, you would have your own set of Halloween missions. Then you could team with other.
I was thinking of too.
Mhm. And if you were in Egypt or if you were in Transylvania, you would have your own set. They would have their own storylines and everything. They would be like completely different from each other.
Instead of just one overarching storyline.
Mhm.
No.
Or they could.
You don't even go to Egypt or Transylvania for that long. It's just to pick up an item, but they happen to put in one of the hardest to reach areas in both instances.
No, it's fine in Transylvania. It's just, it would have been better if it was in the first areas. That's really all the differences. If it would have been in the first areas where you could get to it without difficulty.
Mhm.
But even then, like I said, on your equipment levels, Matt, you could probably get in a 5-man team and survive that instance.
Maybe, yeah.
Eric? No.
No.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Oh hell no! I may be poning those zombies easily right now, but I have no doubt that I would get myself slaughtered easily.
Yeah, I saw how much hit points the boss of that, whose name I will not say, to keep it a secret, had. But it was like something along the lines of 200,000 hit points.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And it was one of those where you have to kill everything else on the map before you could attack him, and when you got him down a certain percentage, he would respawn everything else on the map.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it if we hadn't had somebody on our group that was a decent healer.
Joy.
So it's even less playable.
Well, mind you, that's the one thing about this game. Classes are gone, roles still exist.
Mhm.
Tank, DPS, healer, support.
Like you can actually have you can have eventually get every single skill in the ability wheel, and then it would just be a matter of tweaking it to how
Tweaking
you want
your equipment, talismans to do whatever role you would see fit to do.
Yeah.
So, and they have gear management systems, so you could actually just select those gears, abilities, whatever. It's like, okay, you need a tank, so I can pull up this ability, which will give me these sets of abilities, and will give me the ability to tank. And, oh, no, we have a tank, we need a healer. Okay, I'll pull up this particular gear management slot, which will give me these new abilities, and I should be geared more for healing now. Changes your equipment and your powers. So you could theoretically fill any role in a team. I'm built for soloing, so
Mhm.
I'm kind of a DPS tank with a minor in healing right now.
Yeah.
And most of my healing actually comes from tacos when I can.
Taco.
I actually do enjoy the blades, the sword, my sword abilities. I feel reasonably powerful.
I haven't gotten all of those yet. I've been going through and trying to get all of my costumes unlocked.
I like the piece of clothing you get for unlocking the lower tier of the sword skills, the active sword skills, I should say, for all of them.
That's right. You guys were talking about unlocking costumes. Where are these multi-slot costumes from again?
Matt, hit N on your keyboard. That should bring up your skill wheel. On
Yeah.
the left-hand side, you should see something called Dex.
Left-hand side, something called Dex.
Yes.
Oh, there.
Pull out your Dex, and it should give you a list of different suggested decks for whatever you have. You're blade element, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, I have one blade element on mine called a ninja, and it gives me a list of suggested abilities, and once you collect all those, you can click on the outfit tab and claim the outfit for that. You don't have ninja because I suspect that's a dragon thing.
Yeah. And you can actually, if you want a preview of it, if you click on outfit, it'll give you a preview of what the outfit will look like, or at least the character, the concept art for it.
Mm-hmm. And it looks darn close to what's on there.
Yeah, although I will admit, I actually got on the site and I was looking through what kind of combinations they have, and I was kind of surprised that there's no Pistols Chaos set on any of the three factions, at least not yet anyway.
There's definitely not any elemental blades for Templar, that's for darn sure.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm imagining they're probably going to eventually come out with new decks for each of the factions with each of the different with the two weapon abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I screwed up that sentence really bad.
Yeah, mind you, I went Claws Chaos before I even knew that Claws Chaos was an actual power set for dragons called the Chaos Theorists. And mind you, my weapon setup in here looks nothing like the Chaos Theorist one does. I don't use anything like they use. I actually use a variation because claws are my primary, not my secondary, I kind of use a template they use for the Woo, and then mod it to do more with chaos instead of blood magic.
Yeah, I'm doing the Paladin right now for Templars, but they suggest having your primary as the pistol and then having the sword as a secondary, and I've switched that around. I'm doing the sword as the primary.
So the decks here are merely suggestions.
Mhm.
A stepping stone from which to tweak yours. Matt, tomorrow or something we can go through and I can tell you what the ninja uses. And you can try to set your deck for that and see if you have better luck.
Okay.
But we're not going to do that on the cast.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's a lot of kind of tweaking, a lot of experimentation. Did you guys start out? Did you guys start out with a lot of different combinations to see what worked for you best?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to go claw, or that's the closest I could get to barehanded.
Mhm.
I knew I wanted swords eventually. I just, for some reason, went, what else do we have here? There's a thing called Elementalist. I'm a Black Mage fan. Let's see if I can set something on fire.
Yeah, I actually...
This is Matt's actual mentality towards most MMOs.
I started off going, for this character, I want pistols. I mean, I actually wanted to try and create my dual pistol martial artist that was going to be in City of Heroes. But so I went through trying to figure out the best way. I eventually figured out that it seems like that chaos magic fits the martial arts very well. Though I also realized that I found out that you don't need to have the specific weapon attached in order to use the passive, because I actually have pistol passive, chaos passive, and elementalist passive on here.
That does change per power. There are some that do say requires this.
Requires a specific power, yes, but like I've got a couple of them.
Requires a blade, or requires claws, or requires etc.
I have two of them on here that say like every 8th attack you unleash is guaranteed critical hit, and whenever you critically hit, you also deal a small amount of damage. It's over time. It doesn't specify a weapon or anything. But I just found it kind of cool that like some passive you can use with any weapon combination you want. Whether it's actually how well it helps, that'll depend on your play style.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're planning on for your play style. But it's always good that, if you don't like what you're doing, you just earn some more skill points and, start slotting something else. It's not like other games where it's like I'm rolling a fighter and I'm not liking fighter, well, I'm stuck with it, It's variable. I've noticed recently they've added an auxiliary weapon, and apparently you can get a rocket launcher for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why everybody running around with a rocket launcher.
I've seen that for a while.
I still don't know where to get one, though.
I thought they were introducing a chainsaw at some point.
I think the next update they're planning on introducing a chainsaw, and I was reading somewhere it has to do with completing a quest to get the rocket launcher.
Okay. Because, yeah, I know as far as faction standing goes, I am the highest I can get to in my current faction.
Yeah.
I am now max rank in faction rank.
It may be a very obscure or even hidden quest somewhere, or maybe you said you're in 7 out of 8 areas, right, Randy?
Yeah, I've just got the Carpathian Fangs I haven't gone into yet.
It could the quest for the RPG could very well be in that area.
It's possible. Either that, or it's in one of the previous areas that I already passed when they added it.
That's true too. I thought it was. Honestly, I thought that was there from launch, but
No, hell no. No. Trust me, that's new.
Okay.
I logged in, it's like, ooh, auxiliary. What's this? So yes, I will eventually want one of those.
Yeah.
Wait. Come in handy in PvP, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen him carry it around in PvP, so I think that's can be used.
Rocket to the face.
Well, they cost enough points to make the rocket launcher work.
I was
Everywhere.
scared just like you until I took a rocket to the knee.
Ouch! Yeah.
Okay, you know what? That would mess up somebody.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they get chainsaw. Please give us chainsaw.
Yeah, I so want to make somebody when that's done who uses shotgun and chainsaw.
Groovy.
And then they were also, well, speaking of the next update, they were also talking about wanting to do a thing called puzzle raids, which, if anyone's familiar with the alternate reality game, it's pretty much what it's going to be, except like in game.
My eyebrows arched.
Yeah, it's what the idea is that you get a lot of people together. They go to a phone. Each one goes to a specific phone booth. The phone rings and they get at a specific time, and each person gets a piece of a code or a password, and they have to put it all together in order to uncover the mystery. Which
another pain in the ass thing that requires you to team with a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's. Although I'm honestly not. That's why I was reading on from it. It was from the same thing that he where he introduced that the chainsaw was coming. So.
Yeah, it's just forced teaming annoys me in general for MMOs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I team when I want to team. I don't like being forced into teaming by the developers.
That's forced socialization.
Mm-hmm.
And forced socialization doesn't do jack.
Well, my big thing with raids is when you get people that pretty much demand perfection from them.
Yes.
That's when I draw the line.
It's why I don't play DC Universe Online much anymore. I had a profession that's one of their secondary abilities is healer. I signed on for a mission team on there as a DPS because I hate healing in that game. So I get in there and a guy eventually starts telling me to heal, and eventually I'm like, okay, screw it, I'll do healing. I switch my power set over to healer, and the guy Leroy Jenkins every single mob, and then bitches at me that I'm not healing fast enough. And eventually,
dumbass.
Eventually, I'm in the middle of a three-way fight trying to save my own ass. He runs in, aggroes the next mob, and gets me kicked from the team for not healing his ass. I'm just like, yeah, screw you. And stuff like that really sets me off teaming random teaming.
Yeah.
I had heard. I remember at the latest MMO Worlds panel at GeekCon, Yahiko Tucker, who's on staff, commented that pugs in D&D Online were terrible like that. You have to know your class backward and forward in order for people to not kick you from their teams.
Yeah, and
oh god, it's terrible. Even in you think it's bad. World of Warcraft. That was the one that if I could name any one deciding factor, it was the rating that pushed me from. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved raiding. I loved going up against those large enemies. But it's like they pretty much. But again, it was you had to be, like you said, had to be perfect with your class. You had to literally know the fight inside, outside, upside down. You had to pretty much, and I think they props if you could do the thing blindfolded. And even then, it's the chances of getting anything good from there were next to zero most of the time.
Yeah, and for all that, this is why I love raiding on Anarchy Online. You log into a raid bot. Raid bot tells you who the caller is when you join the raid. You basically go to the caller and you use assist target, and you fight whatever he's targeting. If you're a pet profession, you do this. If you're a doctor, you watch the hit points and you heal. There's no, you got to do this just right or you're dead. That's the problem that's developed from the push MMO instead of the push wait MMOs that the first and second generation MMOs were. WoW has done this to the MMO community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I blame WoW. Yeah, I blame WoW for the decline of MMOs because everybody wants to be like WoW. Everybody wants to be like the guy that the top dog, pretty much.
Well,
so
that's not just. I'm not talking developer-wise. The community, I wouldn't say 90, but maybe 75 to 80% of the people out there started on WoW.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn their raid mentalities from WoW. So if there's a bunch of douche raiders out there, they learned it from WoW. And they're just spreading that doucheness to other games.
Because they're bored with WoW because everybody's leaving it.
Because it's boring and it's full of horrible people.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And anybody who and then you have people and then anybody who decides to try it out for the first time gets pushed away almost immediately by by how terrible and unfriendly the community is.
I can kind of agree with that, Eric. Like I installed it and I bought it when it was $20, I think, for pretty much everything except Pandaria. It was this huge special that they were running to try to compete with Guild Wars 2. They had everything on sale for a total of $20. You could buy all of WoW except for Mists of Pandaria. And I got up to level 5 and I'm like, this is really kind of boring. Like the graphics are not my cup of tea. I like Lotro personally, even though a lot of people say that that's a WoW clone. I found the combat to be a lot more smooth, the graphics to run more smoothly, and
it's called
just overall the look of it is so much more appealing.
And the content of missions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing that really the WoW clones out there are pretty much Perfect World was the original WoW clone. Then we have
it's boring as snails.
Lotro, Age of Conan, and there's one other one.
Warhammer?
Warhammer was built more towards PvP as its main staple, so I don't really consider it a true clone of WoW.
We can, we can always go with Old Republic, if nothing else. considering.
Wrong genre.
Well, no. In all honesty, everybody calls Old Republic WoW in bed.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the shows and stuff that I've watched for MMOs refer to Old Republic as a WoW clone.
Really?
Yeah,
Mud to MMO has done an editorial piece on it, and MMO Grinder, I think he commented on it, or some people who have been commenting on his videos.
Oh, I know which other one I was thinking of. Dungeons & Dragons Online.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I know, and I know what you mean. But what the definition of a WoW clone? I think you're using the broad, the more narrow definition of a WoW clone.
I was looking for fantasy games that were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was looking in particular for ones that were not only just trying to clone it in interface style, but also cloning it in genre.
Yeah, and I knew almost immediately it was a WoW clone when within the first 5 minutes after walking off the ship and going in there, going up to my first fight, going, my God, this plays exactly like WoW.
Mhm.
And
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What game am I playing again? Oh, right, Star Wars. And I honestly thought, okay, this plays like WoW. It's nice for, I don't have to worry about a learning curve. Maybe they're going to do more with the with how it plays. Maybe they're going to improve upon it later levels. 50 levels later, I can. Yeah, exactly. 50 levels later, I'm shaking my head going, no.
Yeah.
Actually, more like 25 levels later, but...
Yeah, thus far, from what I've seen from WoW clones, Lotro seems to have the best community.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And they're role players.
Yeah, that's because they're a bunch of diehard Lord of the Rings geeks, but yeah.
Mhm. And I think the former WoW players are pretty much relegated to like servers like Dwaro Delph and a few of the other servers that were set up specifically to handle the new players that were coming in from the free-to-play conversion a couple of years ago.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, now, granted, I'm probably the only person here who hasn't played Lord of the Rings, so I...
Now, yes.
Yeah, well, as a little update to those that were paying attention to what I was saying last week for our Lord of the Rings podcast, that weekend I actually did tell them to shut up and take my money, and I spent about a C-note on expansions for Lotro.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you spent, I believe about $100 and you got everything.
Got all the expansions, yeah.
This is from someone who said they would never play WoW or Lord of the Rings online, by the way.
Yeah.
And then a week later went, okay, I'm playing it, but I'm not spending money on it yet.
Mhm.
Now a week after that, I gave it my money.
Yep, I was holding out. I held out on Isengard and bought that like a couple days before that went live, and then I bought Riders of Rohan a couple of days before it went live because I was really I've always been kind of hesitant to invest too much money in Lotro because I don't know why, but...
I'm waiting until I actually get to the first real expansion before I actually buy the newest one, to be honest.
Matt, I was on that threshold.
No, seriously, dude, I think you actually get more money than I do.
I was on that threshold of being out of content.
That threshold, never mind.
Yeah, and then I saw, oh wait, I could get all 3 expansions for $30. And then I thought, while I was at it, I want that 6th inventory bag.
Yeah, that's actually what convinced me to buy Riders of Rohan because I need more storage.
Yeah, it was just like 6th inventory bag, and that's only available with the $70 version. Ow! Shut up and take my money!
Oh, Ghost Kitty! Ghost Cats!
Ghost Cat!
It's so cute how his legs just kind of flop there. It's actually kind of creepy, but... Whoa! Ah! It flies right by Matt's head.
Oh God!
It's got jack-o'-lantern eyes.
Yeah, it's got the creepy jack-o'-lantern smile and eyes.
When do you get that ghost kitty again, or how do you get the ghost kitty?
Yeah, I'll just deal with my filth kitty.
Alright,
I think Eric's the only one that can see it because it spawned under the table.
Temple kitty.
Oh,
there he is.
Kitty.
Yep.
How do you get tentacle kitty?
It's for beating the ghost cat missions.
Oh, sad. I want tentacle kitty.
Yeah, it's like a displacer cat.
Yeah,
Enjoy my temple kitty. That's the only kitty I get.
Or shoot. Actually, I think more like Cthulhu kitty, but
It's basically a kitten that's been infected by the filth, apparently, which is a big kind of monster.
yeah, it's that thing that was sending monsters at us in Tokyo during the
Yeah,
prequel.
you fight them quite frequently.
Yeah, you'll find them quite often.
So
I think you really find them a lot after when you reach the third section of Summon Island.
So, I'm actually wondering for future content. I know they have a lot of this mostly like Lovecraftian horror and whatnot, but I've started one and it also a lot of myths on Earth and whatnot. But I'm wondering if aliens would fit into this game anywhere.
It's possible. They haven't done anything with it yet, but if you really want to go with the conspiracy theorists, yes, it can.
Yeah.
By the way, that spectral cat is called the Kellis Kitty. It's 600 points right now in the store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I might have to get that.
I only have 100 of the bonus points left.
How the heck did you get bonus points?
Oh, completed 30 missions, and it gave me 1,200 bonus points.
Yeah, I must have gotten that today too, because I had 1,200 bonus points that I spent.
Oh, I got a good picture of the tentacle kitty.
And I'm kicking myself because
it's walked its way out there, huh?
Well, no, I'm shooting underneath the table. Don't worry, Eric. I'm not looking up your skirt.
Okay, thank you.
Halloween.
I've been
Regal Habit.
Up on the table,
Halloween
cat.
Sea Smuggler.
Not that I've been trying to look up my own character's skirt.
Halloween Shinobi.
That's the set I bought earlier and I mentioned.
And yeah, Kellis Kitty.
Freddy Krueger?
Eyes and mouth.
No, seriously, you almost look like Freddy Krueger in that.
What?
You almost look like Freddy Krueger in that with the fist blade.
Now the cat's over by Aaron, I think.
Yeah, I'm actually shooting it underneath the table here. I see it.
That's actually jumped up on the table now.
Actually, no, that's mine.
Oh, that's yours.
It's Matt's temple cat.
Temple cat.
Yeah, my temple cat won't summon anymore. I threw it in the bank.
Well, I won't the temple cat summon anymore.
Because I out-leveled it.
Aww.
Oh, you can... Oh,
the temple cat, unlike most of the other cats, just gives buffs. It actually gives you buffs.
Oh, I see. Yeah. The bonus no longer be granted after gaining 3 million XP.
Yep. So it refused to came when called, so I threw it in the bank with the Blood Raven.
I'm just...
3 million.
Yeah, 3 million. Oh, I'm actually getting close to the 3 million mark. I'm at... Looks like 2.8 million is my next marker.
God, my dyslexia. I'm trying to count small numbers. I don't have any zeros and my eyes do not want to focus. That's strange. 1, 2, 3.
Now my cat's up on the table.
Actually, I got like 14 million, I think. XP. Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
He's up on the table.
Poor little tentacle kitty. He looks like sushi, or not sushi. Calamari.
Say what?
Calamari. Oh.
Yeah.
Octopus kitty?
Octopus kitty.
Evil cat. Evil cat.
Hmm.
I thought about buying Calios Kitty, but yeah, I don't know if I really want to waste it yet. Point.
I know Randy does not pay much attention to it, but have either one of you seen the Halloweeny thing on That Guy with the Glasses?
No, I haven't.
It's a short 8-minute video made by Phalus.
Mhm.
At one point, he pulls out a black cat Halloween decoration, and first of all calls it a black squirrel. And then, second of all, when he's corrected and he realizes it's a black cat, as the Halloween character, he's going on about how it's supposed to give you bad luck and cause people to trip and break their necks.
Ghost cat was right in front of Aaron.
Yeah. I actually got it floating into the camera.
Nice.
Oh, now I can preview. Jeez.
But so, Aaron, what are your impressions playing it thus far?
I really like it. I have to say, it's Secret World is one of probably the most unique feeling MMO that I've yet to play. Before this, it would probably have been Anarchy Online.
Again,
Yeah.
same company.
Mhm. Exactly, and yet the Secret World does feel very fairly different from Anarchy Online. Again, AO relies a lot of you still have classes and you still have levels and
AO calls them archetypes, but yeah, same thing.
yeah, archetypes, yeah. But I do really like it. I feel it's more involving. I'm much more immersed in this game. The atmosphere is fantastic. This is one of the first times that I've actually noticed the environments. I mean, other than Lord of the Rings Online, in which case I love the dwarven architecture, but this game actually kind of made me pay attention to the environment that my character is playing in.
Yeah. Well, mind you, Anarchy Online did that with me first.
Mm.
It was the first time, I walked out of a city into the world, and it felt like I was walking out into the world.
Mhm.
City of Heroes, it always bugged me, the fact that you would go into a zone, and you know that there's sections of the city between the zones, and it was just like, I'm not even getting a full city.
Mhm.
It was kind of jarring.
Yeah, for me, this game does kind of feel like a more of a console game than anything, or what with all the cutscenes. But I feel like overall as an MMO, it's a lot more satisfying. I don't play it as often as I'd like to. There is one thing I don't like is having a lot of solo missions. I like being out in the world. I don't want to have to, team. I don't want to be forced to team with people either. So
it's exactly where I want to be. I don't like having solo-only missions. I don't like having team-only missions.
Mhm.
The dungeons, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Don't make them, but, because you can pull those separately, those separately. Don't make them part of quest lines.
Exactly.
Don't force people to team when they don't want to team. Basically, force people to, team or solo on their own accord. And yes, some people would probably do nothing but solo. That's their choice.
Mhm.
I prefer to solo, but I team when my friends are on mine.
Yeah.
That's exactly true. Like when the first time that, not the first time, but I was teaming with Barry in this game, and then I've also been teaming with Matt and Eric here.
Yeah. Yeah, I swear that it seems like there's a lot of people think that soloing in an MMO is a bad thing, and to me, I looked at go, but that's how we have fun. I shouldn't, if I don't want to play with other people, I shouldn't have to play with other people. And besides, I mean, there's always the whole idea of having a mission where you say you team a lot, but you have this one mission and everybody you team with is not online and you can't really complete it. And it's like, and you don't really want to go find random people for it. So you're kind of, you still end up being kind of stuck.
Yeah, Matt was having trouble with a solo instance a couple days ago, or earlier, or yesterday. In the Savage Coast. Yeah.
Oh, the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, second area of Kingsmouth.
Try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, Matt. Remember, these two are still in Kingsmouth.
Yeah. I will say this: there is a oh God, I want to say carnival, not carnival. There's a theme park area that's kind of not a pleasant place anymore.
Haunted amusement park.
Haunted amusement park, yeah. But by the time you reach the end, you have to go after what is called the Boogeyman. And for some unknown, bizarre reason, I just could not finish him. I would get to about halfway through, I'm still got okay hit points, and the next thing I know, he's just sending this like meteor storm of stuff at me, and I cannot dodge everything, and I'm dead in seconds.
Ow.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks for the warning, by the way.
Yeah, so you might want to make sure you do a lot of the other stuff in the area first before you head off after him.
Amusement park, yeah.
Also, not too much of a spoiler for me at least, because all that information you gave I did find on the website. I did a little bit of research on some of the areas and the monsters, and
there's still a lot more to know other than what I gave.
I remember when I first found that place, it's like there's a haunted amusement park. What's freakier than a town full of zombie raid? Haunted amusement park. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went in there. I'm just sitting there for a few minutes, and the only thing that really crossed my mind is like an episode of classic Scooby-Doo where they ran a haunted carnival.
Oh yeah, I made that reference to DS. I wonder where Old Man Withers is.
Damn that Old Man Withers.
I was in Transylvania, in the first area of Transylvania, and I was on this haunted farm where I was investigating this grisly murder, and I had these guys that just kept training scarecrows past me, and I'm like, oh geez, there goes the Scoobies again. Because literally, if they would run in a gang, just followed by the monster, it's like...
Running a line-like gang of about 4 or 5 people, just zoom! If you stay there.
Yeah,
you guys have weapons, you know.
You get the 60s music, you get the guys running from the monster. All you need's the dog, and it's Scooby-Doo, man.
We got black cats, that'll just have to do for now.
Yeah.
Actually, I have seen wolves, I think.
I've seen dogs. Like large black dogs.
Yeah.
Although, when I saw the haunted amusement park, first thing came to mind for me was Silent Hill 3. Mostly because, yeah, Scooby-Doo, yeah, I can see that, because I
played Silent Hill 3, so I couldn't tell you. I need to finish playing 1. I've only gotten, like, maybe a couple hours into that one.
I thought of Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, Silent Hill 3 is disturbing, let me put it that way.
I've heard it's disturbing and the plot's good, but I've also heard that the monsters are ridiculously easy to run past.
Agreed. I can agree with both points.
Because I've actually seen footage of them just adding comical music as they're just running around.
the yakety sack.
There are several dog pets, by the way.
Mhm.
Oh wow. Well, do they have Great Dane?
I'm looking.
Oh God, this is going to be a thing, isn't it?
Oh god. Okay.
If they need a
If they
great
do have Great Dane, I recommend we do a Scooby-Doo parody on here.
No, they do not have a Great Dane. Damn.
Zoinks.
I will send a letter to the devs about that.
Sure.
God, you do realize as soon as you do a Great Day, and there's going to be like about a dozen Scooby-Doo groups trying to wander around.
Well, I think I get the green T-shirt and the red pants.
Yeah.
Does that mean I have to get a white shirt and an ascot?
And does that okay? Now here's the question: Aaron? Who wants to be Daphne? Who wants to be Velma?
I actually enjoyed Velma more than Daphne, I have to say.
So unfortunately, I guess I'll have to be Daphne. Although getting her outfit might be a little more challenging than thought, considering I can't think of anything I've seen in the store.
Just make it purple.
Yeah, well, I've got a purple trench on, so
you have to actually buy in the correct colors. That's the thing. It's closer to real life, where you actually, you go to the store. It's like, do you have this in red? No, you don't. Crap.
Yeah, I was actually trying to do that too yesterday. I'm like trying to find some decent looking red pants, and it's like, can't find anything in this town. Come on, you're supposed to be a town for the Templars. They're crying out loud.
My kingdom for Lotro's ink or dye system.
I know. So I was thinking too. I'm like, why shouldn't I be able to, dye this stuff? That would be nice.
I mean, I can craft weapons. Why can't I craft some dye so I can make my pants the color I want?
Yeah, I'd have to buy the pants from the store, but I could get Shaggy's red pants.
Now you have to get blonde hair.
They do have a barber now.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. I visited the barbers once.
No.
I tried to get blue hair, but then I saw Actually, no, I tried getting red hair, then I saw the really goofy white they add into the red hair. It's like, no.
Mhm.
No. I went there on account of I thought there were going to be new hairstyles that weren't on initial startup, and I was slightly disappointed when it was like nothing new.
Actually, I noticed a couple, but they weren't that good.
Yeah, I'm still. If it's one thing I've always been a little disappointed about with MMOs was that they don't generally have like longer than neck length hair on here. Be nice to have, or shoulder length. It'd be nice to have longer than that.
Or like braided, like a long braided ponytail or pigtails or something.
More like the long hair option from City of Heroes, the really long hair option from City of Heroes.
Oh yeah, the glam.
Yeah, the only problem with that is I'm remembering when I remember I had that in City of Heroes was my initial choice, and then Cape happened, and it was pretty much, and my hair is so stiff it's dripping through the cape. Great.
Yeah, they did not plan that hair very well.
Yeah, I'm like, and I was realizing that, as awesome as that would be, they're probably not going to do that until they can actually get hair animated decently and not screw with bandwidth or anything like that.
Mhm.
So at least I will admit this is the very first game I have ever first MMO I have ever played where you do not where equipping a hat does not remove your the hair option you've selected.
Oh, I used to bitch about that in City Heroes all the time.
I know. Every MMO. I mean, it was seriously. I mean, even I think the biggest thing that pissed me off about Old Republic, not the story, not the gameplay, nothing like that. The fact that the game had been in develop for over 5 years, 5 years or more. Correct me if I'm wrong on the how long it's been in development, and everything, and they didn't get and they had plenty of time to develop tech for that, and they still had it where you equip a hat, you equip a helmet, the hair disappears. Wouldn't be so bad, except that they also had chest pieces that had cloaks on. And I don't know if they fixed this yet, because I have kind of refused to go back. But when I left, there was no way to lower the hood. And considering the way I had my character's hair, which was kind of in the front of her face to try and cover up a scar, when the hair disappeared, it completely ruined the look.
Oh yeah.
And it drove me insane. Because like, I want this chest piece, but it has a hood, so it screws everything up. Okay, I'll hide it with a mask. Oh wait, mask. Oh wait, helmet's completely removed the hood, but it looks like crap now. Ah!
Mhm.
Yeah, Champions gives you a separate set of hair options if you wear a hat. Problem is they don't give you the same hair options if you get with face hair.
Yeah.
So I was looking for really long hair to go with a character I rolled there and a fedora, and I couldn't get it, so I eventually said, okay, screw the hat. Which is what I did on City of Heroes with the same character.
Mhm.
But yeah, anything else we wanted to cover?
Yeah, there are a lot of words on the internet about this game sucking. They're wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I have problems, but I won't say they're game breaker problems. Mostly the biggest problem I've had so far is the holiday special, and it blows.
That's just a failure of the holiday devs to
Yeah, that's just a failure on the devs' part, and they need to have their wrists slapped, their hands slapped, and go, no cookie for you. Do better next time.
But, I mean, the problem was the game had a bad launch. This is not unusual for Funcom. I don't think they've ever had a good game launch.
No, I thought it was halfway decent. I thought, because people were complaining about Guild Wars 2 having a terrible launch too.
Yeah, the rumor
it's typical of any MMO to have a bad launch.
But really, what was miring the game down was that there were a lot of mission bugs when the game went in. And some of those mission bugs were keeping people from progressing along the storyline. 99% of those bugs are fixed now. The chat system was bugged on launch. The chat system has been fixed now. The only real issue is there's some minor server lag, which is
when it gets busy enough.
They're still working on. There's a memory hole in the game, which is not unusual for a first year of an MMO. Eventually, as they tighten the code and find ways to keep those memory holes will get smaller and smaller and smaller. Hell, I think City Heroes still had a memory hole about 5 years in, but it wasn't bad anymore.
So far, the only time I've ever had it crash was when I quit out of the game, and it would be like I go, okay, exit now. Suddenly, the game has crashed. Would you like to send an error report? I'm like, I'm just exiting as normal. I wanted to quit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does that to me when I quit too.
Yeah.
That I think is an existing bug. I got to.
Yeah, a lot of the same complaints that I've seen on topics on Massively, they're pretty much complaining about stuff that's been long since fixed.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
A lot of people that reviewed this game reviewed it off of the beta.
Oh, that's always a bad idea.
Yeah.
And 90% of the bugs that they were bitching about, and the animation problems that they were bitching about, and the voice acting things that they were bitching about, were all fixed in the patch right before it went live.
Yeah.
So, but since then, I've been playing since launch. And yeah, some of the missions were bugged. mostly because they weren't expecting multiple people to be doing the missions at the same time. And Matt and I still come across the occasional mission that has problems. Remember the chainsaw mission in Blue Mountain, Matt?
I think Barry did have a bug too.
Died because a bunch of morons.
Yeah, the problem is that mission starts you out with you grabbing a chainsaw, you feeling a chainsaw, and then you're immediately set upon by a small horde of zombies. The thing is that each person spawns a small horde of zombies. So if 3 people are doing the mission, you suddenly got 3 times the zombies.
Oh yeah.
And if you get it timed wrong, so that one person is just killed the chainsaw while somebody else is just grabbing theirs, they're suddenly beset upon by a large horde of zombies before they've got everything properly equipped and charged.
And there's so many bugs with that when you die.
Well,
I have to re-equip the chainsaw, I have to re-gas it, and pray to God that you don't get mauled in the time.
There were also some changes to this game before it came out. The yellow outline around some of the hidden objects was not supposed to originally be present. You were supposed to actually look for things and not, an example of this is the blood trail that you have to follow in Kingsmith. Another set, I don't know, there's all kinds of other things that are kind of left over from before they introduced the yellow outline. Another thing that they're actually bringing back is a reticle. So now you can do reticle combat instead of just tab targeting.
I use a controller, I don't care.
Yeah, I use a controller too. I use, have they introduced compatible thing for this game, Randy, or are you still using the X-Padder?
I'm still on X-Padder.
Yeah, I'm still using...
It's not a Funcom game that has controller compatibility.
Okay, I am using the X-Padder program too.
I went to Ontario eventually and beating the hell into the developers with a stick. Every other game that exists has joystick compatibility. Why doesn't yours?
Give them an extra smack on the top of the head for making a horrible Halloween event.
They're not the only ones to make a horrible Halloween event.
Yeah.
I'll remind you what AO's Halloween event was. I think it was last year, the year before, where it was a freaking 220 raid.
No, that's the anniversary event.
No, not that raid.
Oh.
The one where you had
They made another one?
I think it was like Deep Artery Valley or something, into this instance area where you're supposed to be protecting like enigmas from one of the other monster factions. And I tried to do it on their whole concept was how many spawns can you survive?
Oh.
And it was just really, really stupid of them.
Good thing AO doesn't have itemware.
Yeah, between this and Lotro, I've spent more money repairing shit than I think I have in a long time. Because you gotta repair stuff here, you gotta repair stuff in Lotro. Never had to repair stuff in City of Heroes, never had to repair stuff there. Oh, I think I have to repair stuff in Champions, too. God damn it, I've gotta repair a lot of shit these days. What?
Champions. Try to remember, do we have to repair stuff in Champions?
I don't remember either.
I think you do, but you have to be really beating the hell out of it. Like, most of the stuff I usually level out of into something else before it gets that bad so far.
Yeah.
But, no, I think that's my view on this, is don't believe the reviews, don't believe the naysayers. If you like the concept of the secret world, if you heard about it, and that is a kind of a Lovecraftian horror,
modern day
MMO, then by all means try it, play it, see if you like it.
I do wish that they would have more of an extended trial like play for 14 days or so, like what City of Heroes had before it went free to play. As it is now, I think they only have select weekends where you can play for free. Just keep your eyes open for that. And this really is kind of a game that you have to kind of play it in order to kind of understand it.
You have to experience it. It'll look confusing. It'll make sense. The crafting system, there's walkthroughs. It's not entirely necessary for you to figure out crafting. You could go through this entire game and never craft a single piece.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you don't even need to worry about it even until close to end game when you need the really good enhancements.
Yeah, I crafted myself quality level 10 weapons earlier because I was getting sick of waiting. I couldn't find anything that had better damage than the quality level 8 weapon I was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And quality level 10 weapons, you can also, besides glyphs, you can put sigils in them to make them do even cooler effects. So I was kind of like, I want to start using some of these sigils I got. And I finally found a quality level 10 weapon I could actually build that was better damaging than what I had.
Okay, yeah.
I think we've covered it.
Yeah, I think we've covered it. It's very great atmosphere, great voice work, great cutscenes.
Little references here and there too.
Very involving storyline. It's kind of hard not to become invested in a lot of what you encounter in this game.
There are points where you're just going to get, oh god, I'm dealing with zombies again. But
oh yeah.
Eventually, you'll get to other areas where you're fighting other stuff, and you get to learn more about this world and try to figure out, what the fuck happened.
Mhm.
That's the big question. What the fuck happened? We know Tokyo is, gone to hell.
Yep.
But we don't know the reasons why. And that's part of the story behind this of what's going on is,
And Tokyo is supposed to be playable in the next update, too, I believe.
Cool.
Mhm.
I think, unfortunately, I think it may only be a raid, but I'd
like to know more about what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, same here. I have to go back and read. For anybody who wants to know more about a lot of the stuff that's coming in the next updates, there is a developer blog on the main site that just.
I try to avoid such things because I like to be surprised.
Well, for those of us who can't wait or don't care about spoiling the surprise, there's that. Plus, there was also the developers also did a live stream demoing the reticle combat.
It was like, with City of Heroes, I'd be chatting to my friend DS, and he'd go on like, what's coming out in the next issue? I was just on test, and and he'd start talking about these missions. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, DS. Swear to God.
Mission. Hey, there's a difference. I believe there's a difference between missions and abilities or powers that are coming in the.
Oh, abilities and powers are one thing.
Yeah. Now going in and saying how Statesman dies in the next issue while it's still on beta, that's a different story.
That's when we punched DS. Through the internet. Through the power of thought.
I just use my chaos magic.
Yeah.
Also, I think I have a power that does a Shoryuken.
Probably.
I think, I just got before I came in here, I just got Schism. I think that Shoryuken.
Which power set's that part of?
Chaos magic. It's the... let me pull out my... Hang on. Let me show you. Let me grab these. It is part of theory. It's, I'm still in the first, the inner ring.
Well, I should, in theory, have that.
Yeah, if you don't, there's an issue. Because then how in the hell did you get to the outer ring? It's the 3 AP one on the inner ring of theory.
If there's anything I really like about swords that allows me to heal.
I thought you weren't going with swords, see. I thought you said swords kind of sucked when you saw other people using them.
I did see other people using them and they sucked royally, but I always kind of figured I would go that way eventually, but I was kind of a little... after seeing some of them fall really easily.
I kind of want to go assault rifle next, I think. Once I get everything taken care of
I'm
here.
also kind of thinking that maybe they went completely swords and didn't level up fast enough to actually get some decent stuff before going into these bosses.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's why they kind of and fell over.
Hmm.
Because I saw a couple of sword guys just get absolutely mauled by things I completely blew sky high.
And Tentacle Kitty falls through the portal yet again.
Yeah, that cat keeps teleporting. But yeah, here's the inner circle heal.
Ooh, shiny.
And that, I believe, does at least a couple hundred. I'm trying to think exactly. I want to say it does over 1,000 hit points in healing. It's bounced me back just as I needed it a couple of times.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that one too, the AoE attack. That bright blue one. Huh?
Yeah, the two area of effect ones, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stun them and keep clobbering, keep clobbering, keep clobbering.
Alright, well, let's see.
Now we're just monkeying around.
Yep.
It's officially stopped being a podcast.
Well, actually, we'll probably, okay, guys, I think we're going to be hanging it up here. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you next week. Don't know where we're going to be meeting next week.
We could do, AO, because the Halloween event is active there now, too.
It is? Okay. I need to...
Yeah, that also patched for me today.
Okay, I haven't checked that.
It
Okay.
patched for me, so I assume the Halloween event is active, although I've not actually looked into it.
Okay, well, then I guess we will be meeting up in Anarchy Online, Atlantean server next week. Don't know quite which bar we're going to be sitting at, Reach, Retreat, or I don't know if we're going to go back to the grind exactly. Maybe there's got to be other bars in there.
Oh, there's plenty of other bars.
Yeah.
Just have to look for them.
There's a million bars in AO.
They got nothing better to do than drink and till the soil.
Actually, Matt, that patch you got was a few days old.
Oh.
And last I saw, Halloween hadn't started in there, but I'll take a look at what you guys think.
But I would assume it would start with relatively soon, since it was apparently planned for today.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we'll check out Anarchy Online, otherwise it'll be to be announced. Let everybody know what's going on. Alright, everyone, have a good night.
Alright. Good.
Right.
Get out of my eyes, teardrops.